In this video, we're going to review how to solve equations with variables on both sides. So the basic steps, just to keep in mind, are things that are a little bit different from the other types of equations we've looked at solving. First of all, you've got to simplify each side first. Before you start moving stuff from one side to another, if you just work down the one side, it'll simplify the process a little bit more for you. Secondly, you're going to add or subtract to move variables to one side, and then all the numbers you're going to move to the opposite side. At this point, you should not be dividing from side to side. Okay, you're always going to start with addition, subtraction. And then the other thing just to keep in mind, when you have variables on both sides, you can either have one solution, you may end up with a situation where you have no solutions, or when you have infinite solutions. So we're going to take a look at each of these. Okay, so this is one situation with this equation where we're going to actually end up with one solution. So the first step will be to simplify each side. So I'm going to operate on the left side first. If I distribute the 4, I get 4x plus 12 minus 3x. So then I can combine the two x terms, the 4x and the minus 3x. So I'm left with x plus 12 on the left side. On the right side, I just have 5x plus 2. So that's just going to stay as I have it written. There's nothing else I could do. Okay, so at this point I've simplified the left side, and the right side is simplified as much as I could as well. At this point I'm going to start moving stuff from side to side. So I'm going to choose to subtract x from both sides. Okay. And you'll notice I took the x from this side as opposed to subtracting 5x from this side. It doesn't matter which way I move the variables. I could have chosen to subtract 5x from both sides. The reason why I chose to subtract x from the left side is because I know 5x minus x will leave me with a positive 4x, which is just a little bit easier to work with. And then either in the same step or in a later step, if I know the x's are going to be on the right side, I want to get rid of the numbers from this side. So I'm going to choose to subtract 2, or I can just rewrite 12 is equal to 4x plus 2. So at this point I want to subtract 2, 2's cancel, leaving me with 4x is going to equal 10, divide by 4, divide by 4. So x is going to equal 10 fourths, which I'm going to then need to reduce to x is going to equal 5 halves. And like we've talked about before, I would prefer you to leave this answer as 5 halves instead of changing it to 2 1/2. It's just a little bit clearer from an algebraic standpoint. Okay, so that's the way I get my answer. Once you start getting really good, but I wouldn't rush it, you could also subtract 2 up here in this step as well. But I think it's a little bit clearer sometimes if you do the variables first, then do the numbers. It saves a little bit of kind of moving everything to one side and then trying to move stuff back and forth a lot. Let's look at an example where we're going to end up with